Alright, today we're going to dive deep into the Espresso Martini and make 3 different versions of varying complexity. And to film this all in one day, I'm going to be subjecting myself to a disturbing amount of caffeine, but I do this for you guys, so buckle up. Also, some of you may have noticed I have some new lighting techniques going on in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And to make a proper Espresso Martini, you're going to need some coffee liqueur, and the bottle I always reach for these days is Mr. Black. And so I'm thrilled that they're actually sponsoring this video, and as part of that they're going to be doing a giveaway for this cold brew tower and this cocktail shaker set. More on that later, but trust me, these are awesome. Alright, we're going to start with our basic version here, and we're going to build this in a shaker glass before we shake with ice. So we're going to start with our coffee liqueur and put in 1 ounce or 30 mils into the glass. Next we need some vodka. This is around 80 proof or 40%, and we're going to add 1.5 ounces or 45 mils into the glass. To sweeten this up a bit, we're going to add 1/4 ounce or about 7 mils of 1-to-1 simple syrup, but if you like your drinks on the drier side, you can skip this step. Now, of course, we need our espresso, and don't even think about calling it espresso, and if you do, I expect you to just gracefully exit this video right now. Now we're going to need to pull a double shot for this recipe, so start by filling up your portafilter with some fresh coffee grounds, and just give that a tap-tap-tap-a-roo and screw it on nice and tight. We're going to want 1.5 ounces or about 45 mils of our espresso. I found the easiest way to do this is just to pull a double shot and stop it when it gets to 1.5 ounces. To avoid scalding your hands, I'm going to use this stepped jigger here with a handle on it. And once you've got your espresso with some nice crema on top, just dump that into your mixing glass. And then we're going to shake with ice pretty vigorously for about 15 seconds to cool it, add some dilution and also some aeration so we get that nice foam. Alright, then grab yourself a chilled martini glass like this one I've been keeping in the freezer and double strain the entire cocktail into the glass. You should get this beautiful cascade effect, almost like a Guinness beer, and a nice foam will settle on top. So let's see if it's any good. Our basic Espresso Martini. Let's get my mustache in here, and oh wow. This is really excellent. It's just the right amount of sweetness. The foam on top gives a nice body to it, and the coffee flavor is rich, but not overpowering. This is a truly excellent drink. But what if you don't have an espresso machine? For our pro version, we're going to put this epic cold brew tower to work and make a version with cold brew. We're going to grab that top container and start by adding 1 liter of ice water. And I find that the easiest way to do this is by weighing out 1,000 grams of ice and filtered water. And next up, our coffee. I prefer a dark roast here for cold brew, and we're going to weigh out 112 grams of whole beans. And we're going to grind them to a relatively coarse grind here using my Encore burr grinder. It's a setting of 30. Flip our switch, and after about 30 or 40 seconds, we will have our coarsely ground coffee ready for cold brew. And here's the vessel where we're going to pour the coffee, but first we need to put in this ceramic filter, which will filter out all the coffee grounds as it drips through. Dump the whole lot in. It's going to come right to the top. Then we're going to construct the cold brew tower from the bottom up, starting with this round bottom flask looking thing you'd find in your chemistry class. On top of that, we're going to put this glass coil, which is really just for show. The floor above that has the coffee grounds. You just sort of insert that spout into the coil, and then on top of that we're going to put a wet paper filter, which will help distribute some of the water as it drips down from above. And in our penthouse suite goes our beaker filled with ice and water. A fixture at the base of this controls the flow of water in small drips. Twist the dial until you're getting approximately 4 drops of water every 6 seconds. And here I'm going to borrow a trick from bartender Jeffrey Morgenthaler, who likes to put a little lemon in his cold brew espresso martini. To add that bright lemon flavor, he makes an oleo sacrum, which involves extracting the lemon oils with sugar to create a very concentrated lemon sugar syrup. To make this, peel a couple of lemons and try to avoid getting some of the white pith, and then add 1 ounce of sugar or 25 grams for every 2 lemon peels. Muddle that sugar into the peel, let it sit for a few hours, and you should be left with this rich lemon oil extract. You see this in a lot of punch recipes, and I think it's going to be amazing in this drink. Alright, checking back in with our cold brew tower. Seems to be coming along quite nicely. This whole process will take about 8 hours, but take what you have and let's go ahead and start building the cocktail. We're going to start with 1 ounce or 30 mils of our cold brew concentrate, and to that we're going to add another 1 ounce or 30 mils of our coffee liqueur. And then again, we're going to add 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of vodka. This was about 80 proof. And then we're going to add just about a teaspoon or about 5 mils of our oleo sacrum. And again, we're gonna shake that with ice for about 15 seconds to chill, dilute, and throw some aeration in there, and then double strain that into a chilled coupe glass. And you'll see we're still getting some really nice foam and cascade effect here. Try not to spill. Ooh, that's pretty close. Once that foam thickens up a bit, garnish with a few whole coffee beans, and let's give that a taste. Our cold brew Espresso Martini. And that is really nice. You might not expect lemon and coffee to go well together, but it really brightens it up in a way that's really interesting and unique. The end product is also a bit smoother than with espresso, so if you're a fan of cold brew, this is a must-have. All right, for our final cocktail, we're gonna heat things up a bit. You're gonna need one of these double-walled glasses, and I'd also recommend one of these cream whippers because we're gonna be making a custom whipped cream on top. So let's start with that. We're gonna need some heavy whipping cream, and to pair with the coffee, I'm gonna use this crème de noyau. I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but it is delicious. This product from Tempest Fugit Spirits is based on a 19th century French liqueur, and it's made with distilled apricot and cherry pit kernels. It's got a nice marzipan flavor, but you could also swap this with amaretto. So let's build this in the whipper. We're gonna start with 4 ounces or 120 mils of our heavy whipping cream, and then 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of our crème de noyau. Screw the lid on tight, and then we're gonna inject this with 1 nitrous oxide charger. This is gonna help turn the liquid into foam without affecting the flavor. But if you didn't have one of these machines, you could just whip this up in a cocktail shaker. Once charged, give it a vigorous shake and store in the fridge. Okay, so instead of vodka for our base spirit, we're gonna be using rum. And to heat up this glass, we're gonna start by adding in some 151 high-proof rum and setting it on fire. Pour in 1/2 ounce or 15 mils of our 151 rum, grab a torch, and fire it up. Now, is this absolutely necessary? No, but it's a fun way to heat up the glass and the liquids because this is gonna be a hot beverage. You can relax, there's only gonna be minimal alcohol burn off here, and after a few seconds, blow that out, carefully. Now we need to add a little bit more rum here, but nothing quite as high octane, so I'm gonna use this 86 proof rum from Hamilton, something not too funky, but with a bit of character. Another 1/2 ounce or 15 mils, and then we're gonna come back with some more coffee liqueur, again, 1/2 ounce or 15 mils, just built right into the glass. Bust out your trusty espresso machine, lock and load another double shot, and because we're not shaking this drink, we need to add some dilution, so I'm gonna pour in about 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of hot water. You can, of course, measure this out, but I know that on this machine that's about 6 seconds of hot water, and then we're gonna fire up the espresso. And we're gonna do a full 2 ounce pour of espresso right into the glass. Look at that beautiful crema on top. Put some sizzle in that swizzle to make sure everything's incorporated, and then we're gonna top that with our crème de noyau whipped cream. This is really to taste, but you're gonna have some sweetness here from the liqueur, so I balanced out the drink to make sure we compensate for that. Let's do one more cheesy cheers for good measure, and oh god, this is excellent. The rum we used to add some light, funky flavors here, and the Mr. Black coffee liqueur is not that sweet, which leaves some room for the sweetness of that crème de noyau in the whipped cream. It all comes together so well in this glass, but now if you excuse me, I have to go do this for about 15 minutes. Alright, so let's talk about Mr. Black coffee liqueur. You probably noticed I don't do many spirit sponsorships on this channel, but every now and then a product comes along that I love so much that it's super easy for me to recommend to you guys. So what is Mr. Black? It's a cold brew coffee liqueur that's all natural, no artificial ingredients or flavors, just 100% real Arabica specialty coffee. And most important, it tastes incredible. And to me, that's because they really let the coffee shine and not the sugar. It just has a touch of Australian cane sugar in it. And because it's less sweet, it really makes amazing cocktails. Like you saw that with the drinks today, I can dial up and down the sweetness as I like, and I can really just focus on the coffee flavor. I now see them being used in my favorite bars and restaurants, and I'm not surprised at all. This stuff is delicious. So I really encourage you guys to head over to their website to learn more, seek them out. They're available all over the US, UK, Australia, and 10 other countries. Hit them up on social media, check out their new YouTube channel, but they're also doing a special giveaway for y'all. If you click the link below, you can enter to win one of these Yama cold brew towers, which are awesome and elegant, as well as this cocktail shaker set, which is really nice. Thanks for watching, y'all. If you want to see more cocktails, 3 ways where I make a basic, pro, and chemist version, I've got a bunch more, including the Manhattan, Pina Colada, Mojito, and more. And if you have the means and want to support the channel, check out my Patreon where I've got some exclusive content and early access. Cheers.